Good morning, dear devotees and friends. Today is Sunday morning, and we'll be discussing about the Swadharma of a Sannyasi that we find in the Bhagavatam, particularly the part of the Uddhava Gita. So let us begin as usual by remembering that all-pervading God, Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi bhi dhyanagamyam Bande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanatham. Sarvalokaikanatham. He is the master of the whole universe. Sarvaloka. So this God, who is all-pervading everywhere, so naturally cannot have the form. The moment it is having the form, it is limited. It cannot be everywhere. So that is the reason God is everywhere in all being. But why He is having the form? Because we cannot conceive the all-pervading consciousness, all-pervading Chaitanya, Sarva Vyapi Chaitanya. Can you conceive? Can you have any idea? No. That is why the God is limiting Himself and taking the human form. Last Sunday, we discussed about the divine life of Sri Krishna. Now this all-pervading God again came in the form of Vishnu. Those who are the regular students of the Bhagavata, you know that the Lord Vishnu, He took that form. All-pervading God, He first created the Brahma, and the Brahma was creating this universe. But then a time came, the Brahma had to pray to the Supreme Lord to take a form. So the Vishnu form He gave him, that this is the Vishnu. Then afterwards the son brothers, the children of Brahma, they also requested. So he came and he said, I am Vishnu, the all-pervading consciousness in that form. That Vishnu again is taking different forms we call avatara. Avataran is descending, coming down. So that is the avatara. And this avatara, he came in the form of Sri Ramachandra, he came in the form of Sri Krishna. And in the 10th chapter we find the Sri Rama and Krishna and details about the Krishna. And this Lord Krishna now departing, he is leaving this human form, the Krishna form, going back to the divine abode, because his purpose was done. Dharma Sthapana, that was done. The last message, because this Uddhava, his follower, his disciple, his friend, he won't leave. He said, when you are leaving this earth, who will guide us? We need the guidance. Almost the same thing Lord Buddha's disciple, Ananda, was asking the Lord Buddha. Who will guide us? Then the Buddha said, Atma Deepo Bhava. You have to be your own teacher. Here also we find again and again the Lord Krishna is talking about and in the next class again we will find the knowledge. Remember that you and me are the same. Now here, when the Uddhava asked how this society will run, then he said that I have made the human life, human society in a different small group. One individual life should be in the varnas and ashramas. The varna, brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya and shudra, according to their aptitude, according to their capacity, they should work in different places of the society, and society will grow. And also the human individual life, ashrama, one individual, say 25 years, one group. That is, first is the brahmacharya, then the garhastha, then the vanaprastha, then the sannyasi. We have already studied what are the responsibilities of a brahmachari, the student life, then the garhastha, householder's life, what they should do, what they should not do, how their life should mold, all this. Then the third, vanaprasthi, also we studied. This is the fourth stage, that is called sannyasa. This, from the Uddhava Gita, we found this, the four ashramas, fourth stage. Now the question is, the moment we say sannyasa, it's a Sanskrit word, means samyak nyasa. Samyak means total. Nyasa means giving up. You have to give up completely. The people, if you say you try to earn, that is encouraging. Well, you will get it, you have to strive for it, I can understand. But giving up, whatever I am having, I have to give up, that is very difficult. So sannyasa life is really difficult because you have to give up whatever you are having. I'll be quoting from here and there, not the whole scripture. So, and there, what actually we are giving up? Ahamkara, I sense. But can I simply say, hey, I am giving up my I, my ego, and I am going out? No, it cannot be, because the I is your identity. I is our identity. And we do not know where from this I has come. And now we are completely surrounded by this I. Without I, we cannot survive. Now we have to understand this. The ego is very difficult, and ego is making a division between God and me. Otherwise, I am that. I am that God. So now the God says that you take the sannyasa. This is the preparation and the technique to understand how to remove the I. The preparation began in the brahmacharya condition, because that was the knowledge. The God is everything, and we have to understand that. Then in the garhastha life, because that youthful life, that is, the desires are there, they like to enjoy, but then with a control. You cannot simply do whatever you like. Sometimes some people think that I need freedom, we'd like to do whatever we like. No, you cannot. You have to restrain yourself, not only from the society point of view, but also from your personal, individual. So many things comes within the mind. I have to control. I should not do it. That is the training in the garhastha period. Then comes the vanaprasthi, after the retirement. Now you have not only the knowledge, you have the experience also. You know how things are moving. When you look at your grandchild and the baby is crawling on the floor, you know that this baby will stand up and will, a young man, then he will or she will do like this, and you know the whole picture. You are looking at the small kid, the crawling on the floor, but you know the whole thing. That is why? Because you were there in that situation. I was there in that situation. So our experience, that is called vanaprastha. And the vanaprastha means withdrawing, understanding that everything is going to change. And that is the preparation in the vanaprastha life. Traditional vanaprastha is very difficult. But in the modern times, what we can do slowly, now it is mostly in the cities. I have noticed the elderly people, they are living alone. Maybe they are taking the support from the outside. Some people will come, cook for them, clean but they live alone, not with their children. Children, they sometimes come, visit, that's all. So that is a unique way to withdraw the mind. Now it is not a selfish life, but understanding. If you are selfish, don't like to adjust with anyone, then that is a totally different story. But the preparation for the Vanaprasthi, and from the Vanaprasthi to sannyasa, means you love everyone, you are concerned for everyone, you are taking the care of everyone. Hey, hello, how are you, etc. I pray for you. All things are going on. At the same time, you are not attached to that. That is very important. That is the preparation. So attachment and detachment. The moment you can detach yourself with those people and the things whom you like so much, your preparation for sannyasa is ready. And when the sannyasa one can take, that is in the Uddhava Gita, this is 18 chapter 12 verse, it says, Yada karma vipakeshu lokeshu nirayatmanasu, Yada karma vipakeshu lokeshu nirayatmanasu virago jayate samyak nastagni prabhajet tata. It says, when one starts feeling all the achievements due to karma as the suffering of health, etc., should burn all desires in fire and accept the monastic life. When one starts feeling that all the karma phalas that I have done, I should burn it in the fire. I don't need it. I have written so many books, I have given so many lectures, I made that institution myself, I did this, I did that. One person may do so many things. And the people may be constructing their images, stone images, erecting on the street corners. It may be there. I am not attached to that. I burn all my karma. Yada karma vipakeshu. Vipaka means the result. The karma vipakeshu lokeshu nirayatmasu. He is giving up all those things. Then virago jayate. Viraga means, that is the sannyasa. Viraga, vita raga. Raga means attachment. Vita, gone, no attachment. Not that I won't leave. I will leave. But without attachment. Again and again, this little thing we have to put into our mind. We have to understand this. It is not that I should leave. In the beginning of the life of the sannyasins, they go to a different place where the people don't know them. It is better for them. Because that time attachment was so close. Now slowly after 10 years, they can come back into their own society, they can live with their own people all around, in the ashrama, and without attachment. That is the training. That is the understanding. So be raga, be the raga attachment. Attachment has gone. But things are there. Things won't change. I cannot change my brothers and sisters and all the relatives. How can I? Only my attachment to them has gone away. And I feel for them as I feel for others also. If they are in trouble, I will also try to help them as I also help others. But no special case. This is called viraga jayate. Then he, as if he burns the whole karma phala and prabhajet. he goes away into that monastic life. And sometimes it is said, it's a spiritual injunction also, Yad hareba birajit, tad hareba pravajit. Whenever you will feel the strong urge to give up the family, it is better for you to give up the family and go. Family life, but we have to understand, at least in the Ramakrishna mission, they become sannyasi, those who are not married. But if you are married, you are having some responsibility. Just to save yourself from those responsibility, you cannot. No, Ramakrishna mission doesn't like that, and they don't allow. So once you are married, you have to remain in that. Of course, some of the direct disciples of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, they were married, because as per the norms of those time, they used to get the married within the 10, when they are 12 years, 15 years, very young. They never knew what is marriage, but the parents, they used to put them into that. But Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna arranged in such a way, he was the God himself, so obviously he turned the minds of their wives also. So they never felt bad, they were rather happy, because the joy within was there by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna and some of his disciples. Swami Vivekananda was completely bachelor, many of them. They never married, so they were not bound. So Yad hareba birajed, whenever you are feeling the urge, I don't need this name, fame, I like to leave. So that is tad hareba pravajed. Pravajed means take the sannyasa. Once you renounce, there is no return. That you have to remember. Oh, let me become sannyasi for some time, and then again I will go back. Not like that. In Europe, America, sometimes they do. Nowadays in the modern society, just out of curiosity, everything just let me go and taste. It is not like that. It is the promises for every life, the promises. In the married life, promises. Sannyasa life, promises. You took the oath. So it says, and then it says, Shukla Yajurveda, that the classification of sannyasi are 4 types. Atha Bhikshunam. Bhikshu means those who go for begging. That is a very respected profession only for the sannyasis, not for all. A begging otherwise in the society is the worst profession, we can say. Some people who are begging on the street, or they have lost everything. But the sannyasis, they go to house, 5 houses. They will go, they will ask for the alms, and if they are getting whatever they are getting out of that, they have to survive. Not 6th house, only 5th. That is all tradition. Atha bhikshunam. And who are these bhikshus? Moksharthinam. Why they have come out on the street and begging? Because they want to get liberation. Moksharthinam. There are 4 types. Kuti chaka, the one who stay in one place. Bohu udaka. Bohu means many. Udaka means water. The udaka, one who goes on different places and drink the water from different place. Of course, nowadays the same company, the bottled water, very available everywhere. So the same udaka we can say. No, it is not like that. It is like the people who are traveling to different places, Bohu udaka. Another is Hamsa and Paramahamsa. Hamsa is an ordinary, they are also developed in spiritual life. They can live in the world and also at the same time out of the world. And Paramahamsa, the swan, there is a different grace. So Paramahamsa sannyasi, sometimes they say yati. Yati means the end. In Sanskrit, yati chinha means after writing the sentence, when you put the stop sign, that's called yati. That means the stop, no repetition. So the sannyasis are also known as the yati. This is the last birth. They are not going to take birth again. So the circle is complete. It's called yati. Yati, sannyasi, paramahamsa, like that they always. Ramakrishna mission tradition is the paramahamsa sannyasi. That is the reason we live in the society. We visit different houses, family houses. We take the oath that we will remain pure, at the same time we will go and give that teachings of the purity to each and everyone. So they are the Paramahamsa sannyasis. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, so our tradition is Paramahamsa. There are 4 types of sannyasis. Now the question is, what is the duty of a sannyasi? It's very simple. Dharma palana and dharma shiksha. Now we know the duties and responsibilities of the brahmacharis. The main duty of a brahmachari is to serve the guru. He has to learn from the guru, learn from the teacher. He will never go against. And that is called Sandipan. He was the teacher of the Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna, the God himself, was so humble to him. So that is the way one should understand. And this is the brahmachari. Then garhastha, then banaprastha. And sannyasi, what should they should do? What is their responsibility? Dharma palan, dharma shiksha. They should practice morality and righteousness in their own life. That is the first thing. People are so eager to give advices, but the question is, do they follow those? This is the thing. Everyone is so eager to give the advices, give the lecture, that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he was talking about it, Master Mahashaya, the recorder, he said, oh, this we should go and tell the Calcutta people. We should go and tell the people that image worship is not good. Worshipping God in the images of stone or the wood, earth, that is not good. Sri Ramakrishna rebuked him. And this is the problem with you people. You have not learned properly, a little knowledge, and you go start bragging. So one should understand, that is why first is dharma palan. Unless and until you are practicing all those things, you are not supposed to tell it. Then come dharma shiksha. The dharma shiksha, what is that dharma shiksha? Morality and righteousness. One person, he came to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and started staying with him. He was regularly following all the routines of the Sri Ramakrishna, and he was thinking Sri Ramakrishna will be very happy. Then after 2-3 days, Sri Ramakrishna inquired, are you married? Oh yes, sir. You have children? Yes. So how they will survive without you? You are here with me? No, that God will look after. Sri Ramakrishna said, no, go back. As because you are married, you have taken the responsibility of the family, you have to go, you have to earn, and then you have to maintain your family, and that is your Swadharma. So Swadharma is very important. Sometimes seeing the monks, so they are free, they don't have, sometimes some people they come, they say, how you are spending your time? Whole day and whole night and day after day, months after months, how you spend your time? You don't have any work. Well, you can stay with us and see how you spend. The thing is dharma palan. What is that dharma? Swadharma. What is the Swadharma of a sannyasi? We will go to that. That is today we are going to have that. Now, before we go for another discussion, I will tell you a small story of a great sage. He was from the Christian tradition, Saint Francis of Assisi. This Saint Francis was a rich man, and then One day he saw the dream that Jesus is asking him to help the church. And he saw in the dream that one church is tilting. Rich man's son, and he thought, oh, that means that Jesus wants me to erect the church which is tilting. Well, so he started traveling. He found on the top of a hill one church is really tilting. And then he had money, he engaged the people, they again renovated the whole thing, made the proper church. He went inside and prayed to the God and came out and said, now whatever the duty you gave me, I have done. Your church is now standing perfectly. Immediately the whole church broke down. He thought, what is it? There must be something else. Then he got that vision that Jesus is asking, live the life of a true monk so that the people will develop faith in the life of monks. When the most of the monasteries, what happened when the people they come and then they leave and they get the money from the society and they forget why the society is supporting them, why the society is giving money to them. Then slowly they become rich, and when there is the gold, there is other things also. They started enjoying the life. Not even the carnal things maybe, but still they forget to live a moral life, an ethical life. And that is the reason, the righteous life. So the God asked this young man, this Francis, to leave. So he went to a village, he started practicing, he erected a humble church, but no one will attend. No one is to visit the churches. And why they are not coming? He inquired and he came to know that they are very fond of marriages. Almost every day there will be marriage in the village. And they are eating, drinking, making merry, happy. So one day he came to the villages and then announced, I am going to marry 3 girls at a time. People got very curious. The 3 girls at a time he is going to marry? So all they gathered in the church, and that may be the first time all people they came in the assembly of the church. And there he said, my wives are, and that is the true for every sannyasi, poverty, chastity and morality. The organization may have the wealth and it is necessary for the work. But individual monk living in that organization should always feel that I am a poor person. I have not earned anything. And the morsel of food that I get twice in a day, that is sufficient for me. And simple dress that I get sufficient for me. So that is the poverty, chastity, remaining pure physically and mentally. I am completely pure. And morality. Whether people are observing it or not, I should not do anything which is not monastic, good for the monastic life. I should not do that. So these 3 that Saint Francis of Assisi taught us, a sannyasi should be very, very alert. Bhagavatam teaches, alert and careful about his movement. When we were becoming the sannyasi, we were the brahmacharyans, there was a system, I think it's still there, that not a single brahmachari or a monk should go, always either 2 or 3. Why? You do not know what is going to happen. In the Bhagavatam there are stories. There's a Rishya Shringa Muni. Of course he was a Muni, he was not a sannyasi. But Rishya Shringa was a very pure of the pure. And that story, if you are interested, you can read. I am not going to tell. Then the king of that country, he was not having the rain. He came to know the most pure person, if he comes and perform the yajna, then only the rain will come. And how to bring the pure person. They came to know the Rishya is the most purest person. So they sent some of the young girls and all that. So this is the way it always goes. One should be very, very careful. A sannyasi should be very alert and careful about his movement, where he is going. That is the main thing. About his food, about his speech, and should perform every action after proper analysis. Just out of emotion, if we do, then we are in problem. The one should not. There are so many stories in the sannyasi's life. Just out of emotion, they broke the vows. So that always happens. Just putting on the gerua, that anyone can do. And in our country, particularly in India, if you have the long hair and long beard, and you can put any gerua, and now the geruas are different colors, some red, some this and that, and good quality clothes. So if they are wearing that, and people will say he is a Babaji, he is a guru. But Babaji, guru only out of dress? Just a long beard? No. This is, one should be very, very careful. That's why in the Bhagavata, Uddhava Gita and Bhagavata also, it says, Drishti Putam Naset Padam Bastra Putam Pibet Jalam Satya Putam Badet Bacham Manah Putam Samacharet. How the sannyasi should live. Friends, we are discussing about the last ashrama, sannyasa ashrama. What a sannyasi should be. He is the ideal for the human society. A brahmachari, then grihastha, the banaprastha, then the sannyasi. Sannyasi is the ideal. The people always think that he is the ideal, she is the ideal, the nuns. And if we are just putting on the dress and then cheating people, oh, that is the greatest sin. So that's why one should be very careful. After becoming a sannyasi, what we should do? We should be careful about it. This is what movement he is having. About the food he should be careful. And mainly about the speech. He should not hurt anyone through his speeches or unnecessarily encouraging in the wrong path. Sometimes some people are having the tremendous control on the language. So they can make the pun, they can use the words in such a way they make the minds of the people mesmerized. Some political speakers are also like that. Though they are not good leaders, can't do anything for the country, but when they stand and speak, people will forget all the difficulties and follow them. So this is the power of the speech. So this one should be very, very careful when they are using the speeches. Are they going to do any benefit to the people? And when the people are coming to meet them with some problem, if they don't know, they should be very clear that I don't know, I can't help. Or otherwise, in the moral way they should give the teaching. This way you should try. So from the experience. And it says, and the one should be very careful about the food. Why? In our Belur Math they used to say, when a brahmachari or a young monk is sick, then the elderly Swamis used to come and instead of showing the love and affection, oh, don't worry, they will say, hey, you have come here to serve, not to be served. Why you should be like this? The one brahmachari, he was dressing the vegetable, and in our country it is not like nowadays the modern things have come, it is very safe, but very sharp razors were there, and on that you have to peel the potato, and it was so difficult. And then he cut the finger, and he was looking at the Swami in charge and thinking he will be telling, oh, you have cut the finger, come, he will apply medicine and all that. Instead he said, I asked you to cut the vegetable, not your finger. You are an idiot sitting over here, can't do any work properly. where is your and then all the thrashing. Why? Because you should be alert when there. So this is one teaching. A sannyasi and a brahmachari must try to keep his body healthy, and so that he can serve the organization and the people for a long time. And this is it going. Ekacharit mahim etan nishanga samyatendriyaha. The another teaching is this. Eka charit mahim etan. Mahim means this world. Ekam charit. He should not think that I should have always the company. But when the Swamis are going, some devotees they follow, that is a different thing. Mentally, psychologically, he is always alone. And alone means thinking about God. They're constantly thinking about God. And not, they may be in the company of so many, but at the same time, he is completely alone. Swami Vivekananda, he gave a wonderful, the way he described this. When you can think that you are completely alone in the bustles of the New York City, I will appreciate. And hustles and bustle going on all around in the New York City. But at the same time, when you are walking or doing some work, you are all alone. You are not with that. And Swamiji said, when you are active, when sitting in the cave of a Himalaya, I appreciate. The active means he is thinking for the betterment of others, praying to God for the support, help of the others, constantly active, very much active, so mentally. So this is the sannyasi life. That we have to understand. Eka charit mahim etan. He's not afraid what will happen to me when I am old. Somebody must be by my side. Nothing like that. You have burned the boat at your back and hold the hand of God and go on. So without the courage, one cannot become the sannyasi. And if they are calculating, at the time when I am elderly, some people should be by my side, so I should keep contact with these people, he cannot become the sannyasi. Sannyasi means carefree, and sannyasi is careful about the God. If the God wants me to suffer, I will suffer. The very courageous, very strong mind only can become sannyasi. Calculative, outwardly they may be, but real sannyasi never ever care like that. Ekacharit mahim etan nishanga and samayatendriya. All indriyas are very much controlled. And nishanga. Shanga means company. Nishanga. Even in the company of hundreds of people, he is alone. Constantly his mind goes back to God, and sitting on the lap of the mother, he is enjoying. Atma Kida, Atma Rata, Atma Ban, Samadarshanaha. That is in the 20th verse, 18th chapter. These three words, Atma Kida, he is very happy, he is playing with his own self. Atma Rata, constantly meditating or thinking or concentrating on the self. Atma Ban, he is that self. Now here is the question. Sometimes some people they think those who have realized the Brahman or that knowledge, supreme knowledge, or the God, they never talk with others. They never do any work. They're always closing the door and leaving all alone. When they're talking to himself, laughing just like that. It is a sign of the madness. It cannot be the sannyasi. It's a wrong thing to understand. Rather, exactly opposite way we have to think. He cannot see anything but God in anything. It's a very positive way. When a brahmachari is preparing to become a sannyasi, he should close the door, he should be alone, he should be lonely. As Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave the example, when a sapling is growing up, you have to give the protection. Otherwise, the cow or goat will come and eat it. When the sapling is grown up as a tree, now you can tie an elephant into that, nothing happens. It's a strong tree. The sannyasi life is like that. And Paramahamsa sannyasi, highest standard. And in that case, he is not talking with anyone, avoiding everyone. That means something wrong understanding. Sometimes some organization, if you go, they won't talk to you. They have their people, volunteers or devotees or the paid people, they will be talking with you, and all the sannyasis not talking. They're all, why? No, Atma Kida, Atma, wrong. You have to see God in everything. Some people say women should not come, women are not allowed. What is the difference? The same God has taken in the Bhagavata itself. The God made himself in two different parts. One became a man, another a woman. It is there in the Bhagavata. The woman is also the part of God, half part of the God. And how can you say, no, we should not talk to the women, we should shun? In the beginning it is okay. But after that, all through your life, if you are practicing in that way, that means you are not strong enough. The mentally one should be strong. Atma Kida, whatever I see is the manifestation of God. Different type of people. Some are so good, some are so cruel, some are very tactful. Okay, I understand. But at the same time, I behave accordingly. That's why Sri Ramakrishna and Mother, both Sri Ramakrishna and Ma Sharada Devi, you have to behave according to the nature of the person and according to the situation. So why they are teaching? Because Atma Kida, but at the same time, I know this tiger is nothing but the same God, but I cannot go and embrace the tiger. I know this person is also the manifestation of the same God, but I cannot, but he otherwise in the externally is a very bad person. I cannot go and make friendship with him. That is there. At the same time, I see the God in different form and I enjoy. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was traveling in the Calcutta street, and there is a part in the city, there's and there the ladies, they were in different dresses, they were there, they're the prostitutes, and the devotees were closing the windows of that carriage. The Sri Ramakrishna should not look at them. But Sri Ramakrishna opened the windows and he was shouting, "Oh Mother, you have dressed yourself in these different forms and you like to enjoy? Oh good." Sri Ramakrishna didn't see any other except the Ma Kali. So that is called Atma Kida, Atma Rata, Atma Ban. According to the situation or otherwise, everything are the same. So Samadarshana, the same sightedness, that is also the sannyasi. If a sannyasi discriminate, oh no, he is not my follower, so I don't like to talk or encourage them. Oh, they belong to that group, I don't like to go over there. He is not a sannyasi. It must be Samadarshana. Whoever comes to him is a God coming in that form. Friends, to maintain the standard of spirituality is so difficult. So sannyasi's life is very, very difficult. Bivikta shema sharana madbhava bimala ashaya atmanam chintayet ekam abhedena mayamuni. Sannyasi should purify his mind by constantly keeping his mind on God. Purifying the mind. There are two things, God and God's creation. I always say like this. When you are putting the mind on the God's creation, it is becoming impure. Why? Because there are different type of things are there, and you'll be deluded, but after that it is all temporary. Just like the beautiful shadow, and if you try to catch it, you won't be able to hold it. So you'll be tired. So misery will come. That is the reason they say, go to God. The one little girl, she was playing, and she was trying to catch her own shadow, but she could not catch it, and she was getting irritated, and she was crying. Then the elderly person sitting over there nearby told, sweetie, what do you like to do? I like to catch my shadow, but it is not stopping. Whenever I am running, it is also running away. Then the gentleman told, why don't you sit over here? Keeping your back into that light, you sit, and you see your shadow will also sit with you. Then catch it, touch it. So you have to make in that way, I am running after the world, and the world is also going away. I can never hold it. So let me sit and see, oh, this is me only. So the God realization, a sannyasi should purify the mind, constantly keeping in mind on God. He must live a secluded and congenial place. He should live. If he is living in the marketplace, constantly different type of things are going on, the mind is very difficult to calm down. So sannyasis, after they will be going to the villages and narrating the Bhagavatam, and then they will return to the temple in the village side. Almost every village there will be a temple. He goes to the temple and then take rest. So that he should not be into the places, the marketplace or the places where people are there. Paramahamsa Sannyasi is free from any formalities. Abidhi gochara taktva charet. He moves around without any formalities. Sometimes some people, they invite us, and when we were young, just joined, we never knew. The one day myself and another elderly Swami, we were going, the Swami passed away, and he was in Ramakrishna Mission instead of Gold Park. We went to the place in Murshidabad to give the talk. I was a brahmachari that time, and one lady invited us to go to their place for breakfast. Both of us went over there, and after the whole thing was over, then the Swami told, they have gave you so many things, so many items you have enjoyed. In exchange, what you were giving? I thought, because I was not that way properly trained, I thought, oh, I should have brought some gift for them. I told Swamiji I was not knowing, otherwise I could bring 2-3 books for them or Thakur's picture. No, they can purchase and look at their library. All books are there. What you like to give to them? Second time also I couldn't understand. Then third time I understood, I have to give them some spiritual upliftment. And then he said, yes. And how you can give that? By praying for them. So whenever you are visiting some householder's house, not that you have to take some gift for them, the other people are taking. So you are a Paramahamsa Sannyasi. You did not to carry a flower bouquet, oh, it is your birthday, this is my gift, nothing like that. You go there. But you have to pray, and you have to share your spirituality with them. So he abidhi gochara taktva charet. Those who are reading the biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, those who have read, you know, he used to visit so many people, but he used to go and bless those households. So that is the one thing he should do. And behave like a pure mind child, though having knowledge of Atman. All the time, very grave face, that I have seen God, I know about the God, so don't come near me. Like that, most of the people they try to do like that. That is, I don't know, maybe they may be real, but according to the scripture, no, it is not necessary. That means you are trying to show up. And when you are showing up, that means you like to impress people. People you like to impress. This whole world is temporary. Whom you are going to impress? And if they appreciate, oh, this Swami is like this, he will not do this, not do that, all that is not the pure sannyasi life. He will be just like the child, happy, simple, and not only that, when the people are insulting even, he will say nothing to them. Rather, he will pray for them. Once again, go back to Sri Ramakrishna. He was invited by a group of people, but they were not aware about Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in a corner of the room, and nobody was inviting him for food. Other groups are going and sitting, and in India, if you have visited, you know that. You have to make yourself in that group, otherwise it's very difficult. But Sri Ramakrishna, now and then he was telling, what is it? They are not calling us. Unless they call, how can I go? Then his disciple, he was also the son of a very rich man. Afterwards, he became very famous monk, Swami Brahmananda. So he was there, and a young man, he told, let us go back. The Sri Ramakrishna told, no, we cannot. We cannot. Who is going to feed us in this night? There is nothing left over there. We have to eat here. Then ultimately, the owner of the house or the family members, they didn't come. They only sent a maid servant to serve some little food. Sri Ramakrishna touched those food and blessed them. Not that he was eager to eat. He only wanted to bless them. You have invited me for food, then you have forgotten. But the sadhu should not take anything against them. So this is the sannyasi life. The sannyasi should not uphold the ritualistic part of the Veda. The sannyasi is going and doing puja. Most of the time the people, they think sannyasi should go and do this puja and this, that. Sannyasis are not supposed to do. So they don't understand. Sannyasis' life are completely different. Maybe they will offer some flower to God and show a little light, that's all. And there'll be rituals. That is not sannyasi's work. That is for the brahmanas. They should go and do that. So sannyasis' lives are totally different. Sometimes sannyasis themselves do not understand. So Bhagavata, they are giving this teaching, and Uddhava, he wanted to know very specifically from Sri Krishna what these people should do, and that is the step by step he said. A sannyasi should not insult anyone and must not do any harm to anybody. Should not do any insult and must not harm anyone. This is a great teaching. So much of restraint, so much of control is necessary. Why? Because sannyasi is aware. What about? Eka eva parahi atma bhuteshu atmani avasthitaha. If this line, if this teaching is not there in the mind, how can he be a sannyasi? Eka eva parahi atma. That atma which is the supreme, para means the supreme. If that supreme Brahman is manifesting in every being, how can I insult? So that is the teaching. One supreme self alone dwells in the bodies of all beings and in one's own body. So how can I insult? People don't understand, but one should not. Bhagavata is careful about the food for the sannyasin. And it says, Aharartham samiheta yuktam tat pranadharanam. To save the life, one should eat, and they should go out to collect food. Why? Without food, your health will be weak. And naturally, mind will also become weak. And how you will do the God's work? The strong body is necessary. Swami Vivekananda, when the monastery was set, and he said that each and every individual monastic should perform at least 1 hour physical exercise to keep the body healthy. Ma Sharadamani Devi, those who read that biography of Ma Sharada, then she went to the Kualpara, very close to the Jairambati, and there was an ashrama, and one Swami was there with some sannyasis and brahmacharis. But he will never allow food to those people to save money. Mother went and saw these young boys, they are working so hard, but the food is nothing. And the Swami told, no, they should practice austerity. The mother is mother, and she is so clever. She didn't go for any argument. She said, see, you cannot offer only 1 item to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Apart from the rice, you have to prepare minimum 5 items to give to the God. And those items should be cooked with in a big number, so that all can take the prasad. From then onwards, those young brahmacharis and shwadhus, the monks, they started getting good food. So that is also necessary. Most important in sannyasi life is same-sightedness. The Bhagavata 37 verse, it says, Nahi tasya vikalpakhya. No vikalpa, there is no another thing. I don't like this, so I can like this. No, it is not. It's only God. The sannyasi is constantly aware that there is only one God and he resides in everything. No vikalpa, there is no alternative. So that's some same-sightedness. Oh, I am a Hindu, I am from India, I am from these. Some people, they come and they talk like that. So we don't say anything, but they do not have any idea. And the next life you may be somewhere else. God forbid. Today you are so proud that you are from the Holy Land, this, that. And next life, do you know where you are going to born? So why you are so proud of it? Rather utilize, so the sannyasi should not discriminate. This is the most important things. But how is it? Because his life goal is God, and God is all. Srimad Bhagavata says, Mat Bhikshaya Hata. Because how he will be same-sighted? Mad Bhikshaya. He sees me in everything. That is the reason. Many of you, you sing the evening prayer, the Bhikshane Mohojai. Swami Vivekananda composed that song. Every evening, all over the Ramakrishna mission, they will be singing. And the one sentence is there, Bhikshane Mohojai. The moment the God, just a glance, if the God's grace come on you, a glance on you, all your delusion will be destroyed. Otherwise not. Smriti said, friends, I may take another 2-3 minutes to conclude this one. The Smriti said that every sannyasi has only 4 things to perform regularly. Smriti. It's not Shruti. Shruti means the Veda. Smriti means the supportive books. Snanam, Shaucham, Tatha Viksha, Nittam Ekanta Shilata. These are the 4 duties one should perform. Bathing, cleanliness, and collecting food, and living lonely. These are the 4 things one sannyasi should perform. Panchamam na upapadyate. There is nothing as 5th duty. Someone said. And you know, these was practiced for thousands of years by the thousands of sannyasis. They don't do any work. But they are taking food, clothing, all support from the society, but will never do anything for the society. Swami Vivekananda went and saw the one Swami is sick, he is tormenting, he is in great pain. Another one, he is meditating by the side of the river. Swamiji told, won't you help your brother? He is suffering there. Oh, nahi, wo to unka karma phala hai. That is his karma phala. I am not going to help. My duty only to bathe and to keep my mind clean and to collect food and living alone. That was the concept of the sannyasi. But Swami Vivekananda broke that. That is the great contribution of Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna. He broke that smriti and reset the motor. Swami Vivekananda said, I will give the smriti. And he reset the motor of the sannyasis. What should be the goal of a sannyasin? 4 actions? No. He said, Atmana mokshartham jagat hitaya cha. Atmana mokshartham. A sannyasi should strive for one's own salvation and also for the betterment of others. So the Ramakrishna Mission developed schools, colleges, dispensaries, hospitals, and conducting the relief works. Why? Because you go and see God, the living gods are suffering. That is the reason the Ramakrishna Mission they do. Breaking the slumber of the thousands of years, the 4th asana, the sannyasa stage, is now rising up. The concept of living alone and trying to see God within developed a kind of selfish, unsympathetic human being. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave a new light. If you can see God by closing your eyes, can't you see God by opening your eyes? চোখ বন্ধ করে ভগবানকে দেখা যায়, চোখ খুলে দেখা যায় না. In this light, Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda gave the path, and he said, go to the villages, serve the poor, help the downtrodden, and be free. That is sannyasi. Friends, I will read the verse, a poem from the Song of the Sannyasis. It was composed in July 1895 at the Thousand Island Park, New York. The Swamiji said, quickly I will read from here. Wake up the note, the song that had its birth far off, where worldly taint could never reach, in mountain caves and glades of forest deep, whose calm no sight for lust or wealth or fame could ever dare to break, where roll the stream of knowledge, truth and bliss that follows both. Sing high that note, Sannyasin bold, say Om Tat Sat Om. Thus day by day, till karma's power spent, release the soul forever. No more is birth, nor I, nor thou, nor God, nor man. The I has all become. The all is I, the bliss. Know thou that thou art that. Sannyasin bold, say Om Tat Sat Om. So this is the sannyasa ashrama should do. Thank you very much.
So Sipra Mukherjee is asking, what is the difference between dharma and swadharma?
Dharma and swadharma. That is a very good question. Dharma in general. If you have heard this Bhagavata discourses, then you will find that in the Sri Krishna himself he is telling all the things that all the people should perform. The 4 ashramas, all the members of the 4 ashramas, they should perform this. But again, specifically for the sannyasis, for the grihasthis, for the vanaprasthis, and for the students, brahmacharis, is separate. So swadharma, particularly that period of time you should perform, and dharma, that is you have to perform in whatever group you belong. So dharma and swadharma.
The next question, Maharaj, is from Devjani Dhar. what is the difference between Nirpakalpa Samadhi and Sabikalpa Samadhi?
The kalpa means an object. Ni kalpa, that means there is no object. So when you can merge the mind in that supreme consciousness, it's called nirvikalpa. And swavikalpa means you are again concentrating completely, merging into that, but with one object. Maybe it is Omkar, maybe it is the form of a god or goddess. So that is called swavikalpa and nirvikalpa.
Ananda Roy, Ananda is asking, sir, whenever you said the story of the brahmachari who mistakenly cut his finger while cutting something, wouldn't he feel sad and disheartened when the senior teacher scolded him?
This is the teaching. See, not that the senior Swami was not having the affection, he was having the affection, but he scolded because it's like the military training. It's not like ordinary, the military training. The military people, they have to be like that. Not that the teachers are ruthless, but they give that impression so that mentally they become strong. Now, for us also, we have to live all alone, without any support, God and me, and no one around. So I have to be conscious, I have to be alert. So that is the way they teach. But they have a lot of compassions. Yeah.
So the next question, Maharaj, is from Gajanan Thakur. Gajanan ji is asking, sir, do sannyasis of Ramakrishna Math visit household devotees?
Yes, we do. Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission, there are two joint organizations. So with the same Swamis, they are in the Math and the Mission. The mission means because of the legal thing. So if you are performing some social activities, you have to register to the government and should be responsible for that. But the Math is not like that. In India, the Hindu sannyasis are having their own ashramas, and they are not responsible to the government to give what they are doing and not. This is. But the sannyasis can visit, and we do visit the householders' houses. So I think, thank you for the good questions, and let us now chant this mantra and we conclude. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudramaruta Stunnanti Divyai Stavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogina Yasyantam Nabidu Surasuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.